So you're saying there's a chance. Michigan survives at Wrigley Field versus Northwestern. But listen, Alabama had 3 turnovers, and they lost that game versus Oklahoma, which helps Michigan's resume, by the way. Michigan had 5 turnovers, and they won their game. That has to count for something. It couldn't be worse with a win in this game, though. Michigan and Sharon Moore did not do what I wanted them to do, which was run the ball. And it cost them. It cost them in this game. Michigan was supposed to be able to push Northwestern all over the field on the ground. And they were doing that. But they went away from it at the most inopportune times. The reverse, that was a fumble, where they went for it on 4th and 1, another fumble. That's 2 of the turnovers. Bryce had 2 interceptions. We'll get to all that, but I'm talking about sticking with the ground game, please. And they did not do it in this game, making this game a lot closer than it needed to be. Bryce got some hollow pass yards. 180 or 280 of them, almost 300. But eventually, he threw 2 interceptions. He got cocky. Andrew Marsh broke records for a freshman at wide receiver in catches with 12 and in yards with 189 in this game. But after 5 turnovers, it was null and void. Didn't matter. It was the constant that won this game for Michigan. And the constants are defense and running the ball. Defense was put in terrible positions time after time in this one and only allowed 22 points. That is insane. And they, that includes, they had mistakes too, though, giving up 2 first downs on offsides penalties on 3rd and shorts. That cannot happen going forward. They're just so antsy to get in there and blitz all the time. But they softened up there at the end and held Northwestern. It was Michigan giving them all the opportunity on the offensive turnovers. And the run game was there for Michigan, though, damn it. 216 yards. Could have been a lot more. Jordan Marshall had 19 carries for 142 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. And he left the game with a hurt shoulder. But if not for him, Michigan does not win this game. It starts on the ground. After he went out, Bryson Cusdahl came in and played admirably. He had 53 yards for Michigan. Another thing, Dominic Zvada missed 2 kicks, bringing his total to 6 misses this year after being an All-American kicker last season. But he hit the walk-off game-winning field goal for Michigan. So can we be pissed? A win is a win. They didn't do what I wanted them to do, and yet they still won the game, even after 5 frickin' turnovers. And there's still a scenario now for Michigan to not only get into the playoff, but into the Big Ten championship game. Hear me out. There's a scenario where the Big Ten has 2 two-loss teams in the conference championship game, while 2 one-loss teams are sitting on the sideline at home during that week. Yes. The Big Ten has 2 teams other than Ohio State that could get in. Let's say, all right, let's do some hypothetical here. Indiana loses in the in-state rivalry game at Purdue. I highly doubt it, but it could happen. Hey, weirder things happen. Ohio State loses the game at Michigan. Both of them take an L. And let's just add on, say USC wins at Oregon to hand them their second conference loss. Not to mention Oregon is at Washington to end the season, which could be their 3rd conference loss, but I digress. If all of that happened, because of head-to-head and tiebreakers and stuff, we could have 2 two lost teams in the Big Ten title game. It could be USC after beating Oregon, the one-loss team, and beating Michigan. And Michigan beat Ohio State, and Oregon lost to Indiana, but so Indiana could still have maybe a head-to-head somewhere in there. They could finally, they could make it in this scenario. I haven't gone that deep, but it could be a USC-Michigan rematch in the Big Ten title game. Isn't that crazy? That's still on the table for this program, even after that 24-22 win at Wrigley Field versus Northwestern. And that would, if that were the case, it would beg the question of whether or not the loser of that game between two lost teams in the Big Ten title game would be left out of the college football playoff. Would that happen? If Indiana wins, then USC would probably get the nod to play the Hoosiers in a scenario where Michigan beats Ohio State for the 5th straight time. So, and I think, I think that's probably what I prefer right now as a Michigan fan. I don't want to get that third L and be left out of the playoff, because if we do make the Big Ten title game versus either Ohio State or Indiana or anybody good, I don't think we win that game. But if we set out at 10-2 after the win versus Ohio State and then get selected to the playoff, some time off, Bryce can have some extra practices, then maybe we win a game versus one of these great teams. But there it is. There it is. It's a scary victory, but a win is a win. Michigan survived and they advanced. It's been a playoff scenario for Michigan ever since they lost at USC. And USC keeps winning, so that's good. And Oklahoma keeps winning, so that is good for Michigan's resume as well. Their 2 losses. In other news, to end this show real quick, more bad news. Number 2, Michigan hockey, after dominating Penn State on Friday night, they lost at Penn State on Saturday 4-2 to even the series. And they fall to 11-3 overall. Will they drop in the ranking? We'll find out. They were number 5. Michigan State went there and swept them. Michigan could not do that. But in good news, number 14, women's basketball for Michigan beat number 18, Notre Dame, 93-54. It was Michigan's largest win versus an AP top 25 team in program history. And it was Notre Dame's largest defeat versus an AP team in their history. So some good news there. Kim Barnes-Arico has that program 3-0 and undefeated. And, going back to Friday night as well, Michigan survived basketball. The men survived the game. So they are 2-0 and waiting on, I think they have, who was it? Damn, Mississippi State, or no, not Mississippi State. Somebody not very good. They'll be playing them on Tuesday. So a mixed bag of emotion here for dependent. Plus hunting season's going on. I had to wake up early and get that in. And so I watched the game later than live. And now here it is. Sorry it's late, but have a great night, everybody. Go Blue. Come on, we can do this. We can beat Maryland on the road and then beat Ohio State at home. We can do that if the offense just gets out of their own damn way. Go Honolulu Blue too, though, as the Detroit Lions are taking on the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia on Sunday night. Stay tuned for maybe a reaction from that, because it comes down to, Laporta's out. It comes down to, can we keep Goff upright? And can he find all those weapons? And can Gibbs and Montgomery and the offensive line get the ball rolling on the ground? As part of the game, special teams from Michigan was terrible. They suck. Need a new coach there going into next season. Other than that, keep on keeping on, and a win is a win. Let's keep getting them.